What's up, Sports Wars? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are talking about the latest comments from Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen has lost his mind. Scottie Pippen is out here saying absolute nonsense, and it's pretty embarrassing. Look, ever since The Last Dance premiered, and there was that, section where it focused in on Scottie Pippen refusing to come back into the game because Phil Jackson decided that Tony Kukoc was going to take the final shot, and of course hit that shot, and they won the game. The Bulls won that game. Scottie Pippen has seemed very bitter, trying to just throw any type of accusations about anything out there. Scottie Pippen has been like this for a while, though. I remember a couple of years ago, he basically said LeBron was better than Jordan, and then a year later, he came out and said LeBron will never be close to Jordan. He's all over the place. Look, a lot of people have Scottie Pippen in their top 50 players of all time. I don't. I like Scottie Pippen. I think he was a very good player. I think being on Jordan's team has elevated his entire career. He was an all-time great defensive player. I will never take that away from him. But his insecurities are clearly eating him alive right now. Plus, he gets a little testy with Dan Patrick during this exchange towards the end. Let's listen to Tony's comments, or Scottie's comments on this Tony Kukoc situation, and then we will talk a little bit more.
Help me understand the GQ article where you talked about the 1994 playoff game when you refused to go back in the game and Phil set up the play for Tony Kukoc.
Well, I mean, it's not much to be said. If you go back and look at when Scottie Pippen entered the Bulls and when Tony Kukoc entered the Bulls, and who deserved the last shot of the game.
No, I understand that, Scottie. I'm just going by what you said. You said you need to read between the fine lines, and then you go on to say it was a racial move to give him, Tony Kukoc, a rise. So,
well, I mean, if you knew that Scottie Pippen had been with the Bulls from 87, battled through the Pistons and every other team that we had to get to those 3 championships, wouldn't you give Scottie Pippen one opportunity to get a last-second shot without Michael Jordan? Like 1 year without.
He's still butthurt over this when Kukoc hit the shot and they won the game. This is pathetic. But this is Scottie Pippen seeing an opportunity to benefit from the victim card.
Michael Jordan. Can I get one shot? Like, I'm doing all the dirty work.
But all of that I understand from the basketball standpoint. But when you say a racial move,
well, why would Tony, who was a rookie, get the last second shot and you put me out of bounds? That's what I mean, racial. Like, that was Scottie Pippen's team.
But
Scottie
Phil
Pippen
then
was on pace to be an MVP that year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why would you put him in a position not to be successful? Why wouldn't you put him in a position to succeed?
He put the team in the position to succeed, and they succeeded, and you had an opportunity to continue playing on. Oh, my gosh.
Michael Jordan is not there. So who's next in line for you?
But have you talked to Phil about this? Because by saying a racial move, then you're calling Phil a racist.
I don't got a problem with that.
Do you think Phil was or is?
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you remember Phil Jackson left the Lakers, wrote a book on Kobe Bryant, and then came back and coached him? I mean, who would do that? You name someone in professional sports that would do that, you know? I think he tried to expose Kobe in a way that he shouldn't.
Now you're pulling the Kobe
You're the head
card.
coach, and you're the guy that sits in the locker room and tells the players, this is a circle, and everything stays within the circle because that's what team is about. But you as the head coach, open it up, and now you go out and you try to belittle, at that time, probably one of the greatest players in the game.
Well, it feels like he's disloyal. I don't know if that makes him a racist.
I agree with that.
That's your way of putting it out, and I have my way. I was in the locker room with him. I was in practices with him. You're looking for him afar.
Yeah, and look, that's why I wanted to have you on. But I go back, and Phil designed a play for Steve Kerr when Mike was there. And Mike didn't have a problem with that, did he?
I don't want to. You're not setting me up to answer the right question. What do you mean, Phil?
So now Dan Patrick is not setting you up to answer the right questions. Just like you say, Phil Jackson didn't set you up to succeed, even though he put the team in a position to succeed. They succeeded in that moment, yet you're still mad because it wasn't focused on you. Therefore, Phil Jackson is an ist.
Set up a play for Steve Kerr. He didn't set that play up for Steve Kerr. He set that play up for Michael Jordan.
I thought in the huddle, Mike says, I'm going to throw you the ball. You'll be open at the foul line. And Phil had nothing to do with that?
And you don't want to get this show started because it'll take us a long time. Do you know all those cameras that's sitting in that huddle who they was working for?
The NBA.
So you know who Michael was speaking to when he said that, right? that was planned. That was speaking to the camera. That wasn't speaking out of what we're going to have to do, what the play is going to be. That was speaking to the camera. Had John Stockton not came down, trust me. But that was building his own documentary because he knew he was controlling the cameras. You understand English?
Yeah.
Okay. So all those cameras that was working.
That attitude, man. You understand English? Like, really?
Okay. So all those, but that was building his own documentary because he knew he was controlling the cameras. You understand English?
Yeah.
Okay. So all those cameras that was working were working basically for Michael Jordan, not for the Chicago Bulls.
But
they were building the Come Fly With Me, the Air Jordan videos. That's what it was. That was not naturally spoken.
Okay. All right.
That was rehearsed.
Okay.
Wow. So now Scottie Pippen has gotten to the point where he's accusing Phil Jackson of racism because Phil Jackson decided to draw up a play for Tony Kukoc, not put the ball in Scottie Pippen's hands. Tony Kukoc hits that shot. They win the game. And Scottie Pippen essentially lost the entire team in that moment. This was when, Jordan, this was in, Jordan's years when he was not with the Bulls at that first retirement. And, I mean, again, that's the whole thing about why I respect Scottie Pippen's game, and I watched all of these games back in the day. I was glued to the TV when Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls were playing. And Scottie was great. Scottie was amazing. He was a perfect blend for that team. But there's no doubt in my mind that his entire career has been drastically elevated in a positive way because he was on Michael Jordan's team. That's just the reality of it. That's why I've never really considered him a top 50 player of all time. I have considered him a great defensive player. If you watch Scottie could really lock people down with his length and everything like that. He was great. He was great on the defensive side, and he was a solid offensive player too. But Scottie Pippen wouldn't have 6 rings if he wasn't on Michael Jordan's team. He just would not. And that is just that's just an easy thing to easy conclusion to come to if you actually watch these games. Michael Jordan was on another level. And but what Scottie has done here since that last dance, and look, I understand Scottie being upset about how he was portrayed in that. He did not come off looking good at all. He didn't. But clearly that's how it went down, and a lot of the teammates co-signed that. It just didn't look good. He clearly didn't leave a lasting impression. His leadership was severely lacking in that moment. And it had an impact on how the team looked at him. Now, luckily, Michael Jordan came back not too long after, and the Chicago Bulls went on to win another 3 championships. But Scottie has kind of been all over the place. But being a victim and pulling the race card is very lucrative at this point in time in 2021, the way the mainstream media and big tech handles it. We've seen Colin Kaepernick benefit greatly from this, and it looks like Scottie is trying to go down this road as well because he's continuing to find himself getting more and more irrelevant, and here he is calling people out. We'll see how it all plays out. I think it's ridiculous. I think Scottie Pippen has looked really bad, and I think a lot of people are probably calling him out. It's got 1,200 quote tweets right now. let's see. This is one hell of an interview from Scottie. Scottie Pippen's calling Phil Jackson an ist. Jesus. This is crazy, man. Let's see. Love Scottie Pippen as a player, but Pip the person, not so much. Scottie Pippen's either having a midlife crisis or on heavy drugs or desperately wants to sell his book. Punk moved by Dan Patrick to go with typical reframing. You're calling Phil a racist. I mean, but Scottie said that he was okay with that. Yeah, this is not good, but I mean that's where we are. I mean, this is just where we are, and we'll see how it all plays out. But Scottie Pippen seems to be very much struggling at this point in time. Hopefully, he gets the right help he needs, because it just seems like he's very bitter about a lot of things that he probably shouldn't be bitter about. The guy has a very successful career, and now, because of the shadow of Michael Jordan, it seems like that is causing him some real issues at this particular point in his life. Hopefully he can figure out a better path, because what he's doing right now, in my opinion, I'm just a random guy on YouTube, so really who gives a damn what I have to say. But in my opinion, it's just not a good look for Scottie Pippen, and it's only going to create more issues for him. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Thank you for subscribing to Sports Wars. Thank you for all of the support you guys have given us over the last year and a half on this channel. We're very proud of it. We're going to continue to build it and develop it and create more opportunities for all of you to interact with us. Check us out on geeksandgamers.com, our website. Check us out on Locals. We appreciate all of your support. Have a great day, and we will talk to you later.